What up? Jeff here with all my Bitcoin renegades. And as you see, I was going to start at 7 o'clock. But if you see behind me, that thing is going off. I put my hat over it right here. You see that? It's an alarm for the building. It's always a false alarm. There's never been a fire. So we always it tells us to leave, and then it's always for nothing. So I just never leave. If it's a fire, the sprinklers will go off. So that's why I was a little late. But tonight we have tons and tons of Bitcoin news, and hopefully that isn't too loud. The beeping stopped, so hopefully it doesn't interrupt us, and we can, kind of ignore that flashing light if you can, hopefully. But Arizona, I guess this was yesterday's news, and now that I think about it, somebody was talking about it. I think it was I don't know, I heard it somewhere. But Arizona is thinking about making Bitcoin legal tender or a state currency, and it legal tender in their state. And Texas has news that is talking about making like a Bitcoin city or something like that, like El Salvador was doing. And we have other Bitcoin news tonight. So hopefully YouTube will give us some Bitcoin love, because this is just a Bitcoin video, and normally those tend to not do so favorably because it's a wide niche and so many people are talking about Bitcoin. So hopefully we can get a good thing going. If you haven't, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and you can get all these up-to-date stuff even when my building is burning down. No, it's actually not. We're fine. Don't worry about us. I checked on my neighbors. Everything's cool. There's no smoke, nothing. So, but I do want to talk about Bitcoin, because a lot of the good stuff that's happening, that's why if you saw the thumbnail, it says buy the rumor, because that's what you do with crypto, right? You buy that rumor. And what we want to do here, let me share my screen with you, is figure out where the price of Bitcoin is going to go and why. And this is the good part. Now we have a little bit of news. We started turning bullish on the 1 hour, then the 4 hour, then the daily. Now we're above the EMA 9. Now we just got to get above the 21, the 50, the 100, the 200. So we are about halfway through the steps of a recovery. We've hit all those milestones, and now we just have to keep hitting them. And with this news coming out, just like I said, that will help us in our journey. Now, if regulation comes and hammers down on this news, it could be a bad thing. But we are going to go right in and look at the price real quick just to show you where we're at. We are at $38,015. We've been above the EMA 9 all day. It is now our support. 37,934. The EMA 9 is now our support. Yes. And as I say that, it goes like and tests it. But hopefully it holds here. We've been above 38 pretty strong. And with news that's coming out, it should actually help us stay above that. So if we go right over here, this is exactly what I was talking about. We're just going to get right into this because I want to talk about this. And I want to know what you guys think about it as well. So we have the comment section open. Hey, Justin, I'm really glad that you came. He says the price needs more elevation. Well, yeah, it needs more volume too. So we need a lot of stuff happening, but this is the good stuff. So we're about halfway through what we need for recovery, and stuff like this helps. So the new Senate bill would make Bitcoin legal tender in Arizona. Now, guys, this is so far-fetched, but possible. Cryptocurrency use possible coming soon. So that is really bullish news. And it's this lady. I don't know how we find such cool people and then we have such stupid people elsewhere. It's like, I don't know. The world is like half really smart and, useful people. No, I'm not going to say it like that. That actually sounded really bad. Not going to say what the other half are. The other half are smart and useful too. We'll just say that. But Senator Wendy Rogers, even she's a Republican, wow, okay, has introduced a new Senate bill which would make Bitcoin a legal tender across the Grand Canyon state. Can you believe that? Like half a year ago, they were introducing it to a third world country. Well, if you look at what country that is, El Salvador, now it would be really obvious if it was like Puerto Rico or something, like a U.S., not a state, but like a U.S. territory. El Salvador isn't really a U.S. territory, but it does have the U.S. dollar. So I think it was kind of a little bit of a test. Maybe the government is really behind crypto and they're only making us think that they don't want crypto so that they can add more regulation and scare people, because that's what governments like to do in the media. They like to scare people into submission or scare them into doing what they want them to do. So if they act like, oh, Bitcoin's bad, while secretly stacking bags and making laws that are actually Bitcoin friendly, and having actual people that are down to make Bitcoin a legal tender in the United States. Now, I remember a couple months ago saying, people saying this is absolutely not possible. No senator, no one would ever even think of doing this. Well, here it is. You have it right here. So it says SB 1127 state agencies payments cryptocurrency could allow state agencies to accept cryptocurrencies as a payment method of fines, civil and other penalties, rent, rates, taxes, fees, charges, revenue, financial obligations, and special assessments due to the state. Now, why are they doing this? Could it be another way to collect people's money? Because people are like, well, it's all in crypto. You can't touch it. Like people put money in crypto to like hide it, and I don't ever advocate that. I don't ever like hiding your money in crypto. No. Don't avoid taxes. Don't do that. You're going to get yourself in trouble. But what you can do is use the laws to your favor. Yes. Right now, the crypto laws are in your favor, as in there pretty much are none. Except if you make a big capital gain, you report it, right? So unless that either gets offset or it wasn't a big enough capital gain to report. So those are things, and I don't ask me about that. That's all. You have to ask your lawyer about that, or your lawyer, your tax professional. Probably not a lawyer, but CPA probably. So this is pretty cool. It actually goes into the whole defining of the bill. The bill defines cryptocurrencies as cryptocurrency means any form of digital currency in which encryption techniques are used to regulate the generation of units of currency and verify the transfer of monies, operating independently of a central bank, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. Cryptocurrency issuer means an issuer of any form of cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. If passed, SB 1127 would take effect from after Saturday, December 31st. Wait, what? So are they going back to December? From and after Saturday, December 31st. Hold on. I want to go look. Are they talking about last month? Hold on. Saturday. No, that was Friday. So that would be this year. They're talking about it would be implemented this December Saturday. Okay, so it's this year, 2022. I was like, are they really going to go back and like be like, yeah, you could have paid before? Yeah, that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, would it? So yeah, it's this year. So Saturday is the 31st of December in 2022. So it would take a few months to go into effect. Actually, almost a year. We're looking at about 11 months for that to happen, but that's good. I mean, if we can change everything in 11 months, do you guys realize how fast this is happening? Now, I'm going to take a second. We need to kind of just understand what is happening for a minute. This is like one of the very first videos I did, and I have the same feeling I did back then, is I want us to rush past this too fast. Because when were we at 60? You guys remember that? We sat at 50 and 60,000 for a long time. And most of you guys probably don't even remember it at all. You might be able to remember like one moment in that whole area, but I actually have a lot of memories, and I'm glad I made videos because it kind of, goes through the journey. But what I want to show you real quick is just a little bit about the beginning of Bitcoin from just 10,000 and up, and kind of how fast we really went, and kind of why it's so spectacular that we are staying as high of a level as we have, because in the past, Bitcoin was a $10,000 coin at 20,000 at the most. So the way that it does what it does now is just amazing. And I want you to kind of see that. So I wish it was still within the last year that it did it, because it used to showcase the real, fast amount that it went up, but not like from a far out distance. You could kind of see how fast it went up close. This one is more of a distance, but you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. And then, we were at just this level. Yes, we spiked up to there, but nothing compared to, and how fast that happens. So that's what we're going to concentrate, because it's hard to see right here. I'm just going to kind of tell you, and then you can go fact check me if you want, or we can kind of do it where you can see it. That way. Okay. We're talking 10,000, September 26, 2020. Oh, I moved it, didn't I? Dang it. It's super hard to do this backwards. Okay. September 26th. You saw it. September 26th. Gosh, dang it. Okay. October 6th. 10,600. Okay. And then let's just go a little bit further. So let's just do November. Oh God, it's going to be too hard to hold it and show you guys. But it just went up super fast, and see that. And if you saw it on the year, it was super fast too. And that is the thing that shows how much we have adopted Bitcoin, and how much people weren't even considering that it could be adopted by a U.S. state. They were like scoffing at you if you'd even consider. Like, they're like, oh, it's going to fail. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen because of the International Monetary Fund and like all the scrutiny all the other states in our own government will probably give them. But it's bullish right now. And if we want it to be law, guys, you know that we can do this, right? Whether the government wants it or not. For the most part, that is true. If we push this hard enough as a society, the government will cave. Maybe one or two people don't have a big voice, but when you get thousands and hundreds of thousands or millions of people with the same mindset and know, hey, this is the future, guys. If you don't see that, then, just step aside. You don't have to stand in our way. You don't have to get involved. Just don't stand in our way. Just watch from the sidelines. If you think it's going to fail so miserably, you go do your own thing and let all of us succeed. You'll see. And then they can do it one state at a time. That's what's cool about having a country like the United States, that we are one country, but we are states within that country that all have different laws. It's kind of hard. It's probably different if you're in a different country to understand that. Basically, our judicial system is one and the same, for a federal level, but each state has their own, penal codes and laws, and, something that's illegal over here in Washington might not be illegal over in Louisiana, and vice versa. Something in New York is illegal, and there's other states that are super strict, like New York, and, other states that the laws, especially for like trading or crypto or stocks, really don't favor the people. And then those are normally the bigger states where you really have to worry about probably money laundering and this stuff like this. So probably nothing that us small people would worry about, but like big businesses trying to rip off the government kind of stuff. So, but for the most part, this is going to change everything. And I think it actually helps stop crime rate when it comes to the financial aspects of the world. And the more that we get security on these things and build a better technology, then we can stop all these hacks from happening. And, we're still in the infancy of this, right? So how many banks have been robbed over the years, right? How many, things with, credit cards have been stolen and all of that. So all monetary system has their flaws and their good stuff. So give us a chance. Let this go through if the people say so. And if it does, then we get to reap the benefits. So I want to talk about this before we go on to the other state. Now, this is going to be huge for the adoption of crypto. Now, this is why I wanted to show you in here. Yeah, there was a reason for it. That's why I wanted to show you how fast Bitcoin went up, because we're facing mass adoption right now. So we had institutional adoption that happened in 2021. I actually think that it's done, or still continuing, but basically it's happened. Bitcoin has been institutionally adopted by institutions as a hedge against inflation. You have your MicroStrategies, your Teslas, your however other many hundreds or even thousands of companies that are using cryptocurrency, at least partially in their business. So that being said, you have these big companies like Visa that are going to get in on this and make a lot of money. And this is why we are really on the cusp of mainstream adoption. That's why I think that we can have a cryptocurrency become legal tender. And I know a lot of you will probably argue with me on that fact that we won't have it become legal tender. But look at the amount of money that is going into it. So our government is not that stupid. I mean, I like to say that they're smart because I'm an American, man. I want my government to be smart. But unfortunately, that's not always the case. And so I hope they see the opportunity here. That's what I'm saying. I think some of them do. And these are the people we want to vote for. I never was a big advocate for voting until I realized what that means. We can pick the people, that believe the same kind of stuff that we do, and we can put them in there and they can speak for us, and then our stuff will be told in a way that actually matters, right? Instead of us just complaining about stuff, we can have an advocate that can really pass these bills that will, create our children's wealth. When we stack up our crypto now, it might not just be for us. It might be because we don't want our children to live the same hard life that we had, give them a little cushion, not spoil them, but get them prepared for this life and have a cushion if they have to need it, or, go to college, and then they can start their life debt free and have a degree, because you basically either need a degree or a trade. You either need to have a trade or a degree. And then even if you get a degree, you might still be working a trade. So that's the thing about getting the degree. That might not always pay off. You might be working at McDonald's with a master's degree. So that's why crypto also creates millions of jobs. So as you see, crypto credit card usage reaches 2.5 billion in Q1. That's a lot of money, 2.5 billion just on credit cards. People buying crypto with credit cards. So despite volatility in the cryptocurrency markets, the adoption of crypto as a means of payment appears to be rising. Well, yeah, you have your cash apps have adopted it. You have your basically every payment system in the world has now or is implementing Bitcoin into it now. So that long old myth that you can't even buy Bitcoin at a Bitcoin convention, well, you can buy Bitcoin at a Bitcoin convention. You always could have, with a computer. But as for, buying Bitcoin, you can buy it just about anywhere. There's kiosks. You can buy it with your credit card. You can buy it. Anybody has, if you have a phone and the internet access, whether it be mobile hotspot and you have a credit card, you can buy Bitcoin and an ID. You have to have an ID too to prove who you are. So, in an earnings call on Thursday, Visa stated that its customers made $2.5 billion in payments using its crypto-linked cards. excuse me, during its first fiscal quarter of 2022. That's over 70% of all crypto card volume throughout fiscal 2021, signaling increased adoption in digital asset payments. Visa CFO, this dude, expressed optimism over the development in an interview with CNBC. To us, this signals that consumers see utility in having a Visa card linked to an account on a crypto platform, he said, citing an instant and seamless ability to manage purchases and fund payments. This is huge. These are the things that we look for. This is why I'm saying buy the rumor. These are all rumors, guys. Whether this plays out or not, it's going to be bullish for the price in the immediate short term. So this is why we buy the rumor on these things. Yes, this is probably not going to happen. Maybe it is. You never know. But buy the news nonetheless. Now, what else is happening? So we already know that there's several states in the United States that are really Bitcoin friendly or pro Bitcoin. And I would actually say more than just Bitcoin friendly, they are pro Bitcoin. And a lot of different states have a lot of different things that they have to offer. Now Miami is your fun, your vacation state, right? So when you go to a convention or a gathering in Miami, you're going to want to go for relaxation. You're going to want to go to be on a boat. You're going to want to go be on the water, on the beach. That's what Miami is, right? You know, so it's kind of the fun, the chill, kind of the party, Bitcoin friendly city, right? And then you got your Arizona, which is more of your kind of mix between your hipsters and your hillbillies, like Texas. So you got kind of a raw, I'm not trying to put Arizona in a box. I'm just kind of painting an overall picture. It's more of like a kind of rough area, Arizona, and it's really hot, so people can be grumpy. But other than that, Arizona is really good, and it's more of the, I would say, liberal state, or not conservative, just like a little bit willing to take the risk if the risk is right to take, right? They're not completely just hipsters. Like I said, it's kind of a mix, so, and I'm not trying to label anybody. I'm just trying to kind of paint a picture of the different kinds of areas, because if you travel the country, what I'm trying to say is that it's just a little bit different across the country. When you go into the South, the architecture is different, the people are more relaxed, and they're more territorial, I guess, like they have their land and they like to be left alone, and just stuff like that. And Miami is more of all inclusive, like, and Texas is more like that than that's why I said Arizona is kind of a mix of like hipsters and that backwoods kind of Texas, kind of get off my property, everything bigger in Texas, including, the bullets. So that kind of, that thought process or whatever. So can I even say that? I think I can. It wasn't anything bad, but Texas plans to become the Bitcoin capital, vulnerable power grid and all. So crypto miners with more than double the power demand of Austin are descending on the anti-regulation state. So, and then you have the laws down there, right? And they're more, for their state. They probably have different laws than most states, Texas. I'm not going to lie. But look at that mine. Oh, that's so sexy, guys. Am I the only one who thinks that is just the sexiest thing in the world? Well, I mean, it's millions of dollars. That's why. Each one of these is like 20 grand, 20, 40. 60, 80, 100 grand, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200,000, 220, 240, 260, 280, 300,000, 320, 340, 360, 380, 400,000, 420, 440, 460, 480, 500,000. I mean, and on 5 to, oh my goodness. So they have more than $1 million worth of equipment right here. And then it probably costs about $100,000 to $1 million a month in electricity. But they probably make anywhere from $5 to $10 million per month. That's the thing. Yeah, they might pay $1 million, but they're making $5 to $10 million a month. So it is really, especially if you're on, well, I don't know about the power grid down there, but I know in Eastern Washington, they have, they use the hydroelectric dam as cheaper, form of energy. And that's why you hear El Salvador talking about volcano energy. And what they're doing is they're just using natural resources to create energy for cheaper, right? Than, whatever other nuclear or whatever energy that is more expensive than that. So, yeah, but workers install a new row of Bitcoin mining machines at the Whitestone Bitcoin mining facility in Rockdale, Texas on October 9th, 2021. Cool. Photographer Mark Felix. That's a cool overview of all of those. I'd kind of like to just see the whole thing. That's pretty cool. I mean, it doesn't give you too much bigger picture. But I was hoping to see if there was more rows or if this was it. Because normally this is just one row. And they have like about 10 to 20 rows like this. So this is like $1 million worth of machinery. But there's like 10 different rows of that. So this is super bullish. Obviously, when Bitcoin mining left China, it had to go somewhere. And America has a lot of good, cheap electricity, guys. And if you strategically move to a certain place just to mine Bitcoin, it would actually, make you a lot of money. Like if you went out to Ellensburg or wherever on, the big old river we got and use the hydroelectric dam, like they're doing over there, then you're going to make a ton of money. Instead of like paying $5 million and only making $10 million, you're like paying $100,000 and you're making $10 million. So that's the kind of profit that you'd rather see, and the return, 100x instead of just like, double your money. So, but let's look and kind of see where we're at in crypto now. Look at that. We are now almost at 29. You know what happens if we go up one more? Oh no, we already are. So we are not in extreme fear anymore, guys. See this? We have moved from extreme fear to just regular fear now, and that's good. So that is pretty cool. Now, I actually stopped watching Royal Rumble to make this video for you guys. It's actually on right now in the background. And so you guys better love me for doing this. No, I just thought that since all this news, came out and Bitcoin was actually on the cusp of breaking out, this would be a good time to do a video. So Royal Rumble or not, I can rewind it if I need to. I can't show you guys though, because then they'll cut me off the air. So just trust me that it's there. But now let's go look at some technicals, because I want to know what the frickin' frack is going on with Bitcoin. What's going on with Bitcoin? See this? It's getting lower though every day. 39,658. Oh no, it just went up to 659. Why did it just get so hot in here? I feel like somebody just turned the heat on or something. Oh my God, the heat is on. Ugh, no wonder I was starting to roast. Oh. I thought I turned the heat off. I'm like, man, dude, this is getting too much. I almost have to take the coat off, my signature coat. Every time I do a collaboration, I'm going to make sure I have this hat and this coat, because this is my signature look right here, for sure. So I'll let you know who wins. I will. I was hoping to see King Love and Weepin' One, especially she was just on earlier. That was another reason I went on tonight, is because I saw her up and active. So I was kind of hoping she would be on here. I haven't seen her on a while. And Tim, hopefully his laptop got fixed, guys. that just sucks when your laptop breaks on you. So best wishes go out to Tim and his laptop. So yeah, I notice when I do my pop-up live streams, they don't work as good as scheduled ones. So I'm glad that was good advice from Weeping Angel, is to have a good schedule going on. So, but we're in a good area actually right now. If you guys didn't know, in Bitcoin, we are in an area where it kind of decides everything. And that's what I've really wanted people to understand, is when Bitcoin goes down and has a retracement like that, it doesn't always give you a second opportunity to go back down and buy Bitcoin down here at 32,000. It might only go down there one time. The kind of crazy thing is it broke out of this inverse head and shoulders, but even when it does that, it didn't go to its price target. See that? The price target is 40,637. So, and it had a breakout with a nice, kind of a nice amount of volume too. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on with Bitcoin right now. It's not really following, the technicals as much. Like it is, but it's just like inching up. If it has like a $2,000 breakout, it breaks out by like 500 and then stops. Like that wasn't what you were supposed to break out, especially with little volume. I guess it isn't that much. That's probably the issue, is not enough volume. Nobody wants to buy at these levels, just in case it is the end of the market, but it's not though. And once we get, that's why this is so important right here, that we're getting out of this fear, because the less fear, the more volume. The more volume, the higher we break out, and the higher we go up. So that's what we're going to be looking for, this to go, to the green. Let's see some greed. Let's see people buying up Bitcoin like it, is going to go to 100,000 for real. It's like everybody lost their hope, and nobody's talking about Bitcoin to 100K anymore. Nobody is. I mean, but I still believe that it can do it. I still believe it's going to do it before the end of this cycle. So we have basically a rising wedge now type deal. No, more of a symmetrical triangle. That's exactly what that is. So we have a symmetrical triangle. An upward sloping symmetrical triangle where it likes to break up and then go back down into this little canyon here. So not the best for a bullish signal, in my opinion. I'm going to keep more of an eye on this downward trending slope line right here. On the 1 hour, but let me just kind of erase all this. I want a fresh look, because when I put all these things in here, see, it broke out. It broke out of my neckline, but then it went back down under. That's what I don't get. I guess, well, I do get it. That's what happens when you don't have enough volume. So you can get a breakout above the price, but if the volume doesn't go through, then it's not a confirmed breakout. It's just like a fake out breakout. So that's, yeah. I didn't used to know what that was. I was like, why would it do that, dude? It broke out. Yeah, no volume. So this was the original breakout point right here. So technically it was too long to be the inverse head and shoulders anyway. So that was the neckline right here. And so it did kind of break the neckline technically right there. Oh, I guess it did. Look. And then it went sideways and up again. I don't know. It just didn't really play out. So, but I do want to kind of look at this. Dang it. So we have up here at 43. This is what happened right before we crashed. Remember, we started down here like 41, went all the way to 43, and then that's when the nightmare happened. So we actually had a breakout right here. Remember that from the downward trending slope line that we had? Nice break. Or wait. Yeah, breakout right here. That's the same place that the inverse head and shoulders broke out. You know that, right? See that? How it went up after here? Because that's a breakout. So that downward trending slope line breakout also with the inverse head and shoulders breakout at the same exact level, like right above it. But it didn't. I mean, everything says that we should have went back up to 43, guys. According to technical analysis, when you have a falling wedge and you break out to the upside, you are supposed to go to the top of the wedge. But technically, this could be a symmetrical triangle and not a falling wedge. But no, I would actually, yeah, that's a symmetrical triangle. Darn it. Okay, that's probably why I did that. If it was a falling wedge, it would have broke out to the upside, probably a little bit higher. Symmetrical triangles don't break out as high, I've noticed. Now, this one is for sure a better pattern. Or is that a symmetrical triangle too? It actually looks like another symmetrical triangle. Yeah. There you have it. Symmetrical triangles all over the place. All over the place, which means even if it breaks out, it's not going to go to the top of the wedge. I'm not 100% sure how high a symmetrical triangle goes, but it's because we're being squeezed. That is what we're seeing crypto wide right now, is this. But remember, we were seeing this on the daily, and then we were seeing it on the 4 hour, and now we're seeing it on the 1 hour now. So if we see it on the daily and the 4 hour and the 1 hour, then it looks like, you know, it's stopping now. It's not on the 4 hour anymore. It's not on the daily. It's only on the 1 hour now. So hopefully we're done with the squeezing. That's what I mean. So I almost didn't even know what I was talking about for a second. But, and as you see, we are basically above all of the EMAs still on the 1 hour. Now let's look at the 4 hour, see if we're still bullish, because these are the things we got to continually look at to see if we're still bullish or not. Yeah, see, we're above all of them still on even the 4 hour. Now let's go look at the 1 day. 1 day only. Okay, yeah. So we are still above the EMA 9. So everything is still looking bullish. It could get better. We want to break above 40 to continue to go bullish, guys, because the high that we've gone, it looks like is 38.2. And we really need to kind of push past and go above that. That was today. I think it went a little higher yesterday, like 38.7. So I would like to see us even break out above that, go and test this EMA 21 and close above it tomorrow night. I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow at about 4:30, 4:45 Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, 4:45. Right before we get ready to close, because it looks like there isn't anybody at that spot. I don't think Wendy is doing those at that time. I think she's doing earlier now. So I don't want to directly compete with her for sure. She will whoop me every time. But that is a way to kind of get more viewers, though, on both of our channels, to do it at the same time, because then they'd be unique viewers to each channel. I don't know. But yeah, I just don't want to compete against other YouTubers. I like to lift people up. I don't want to directly compete, even though I know we do. You know, I just don't want to add to that competition, you know what I mean, in a negative way. I like to lift people up. So, yeah. I don't want to be like the WWE Monday Night Wars, you know, the WCW versus WWE. Okay, so I think that's about everything. I just wanted to touch on all that news and let you know I'm super bullish on Bitcoin. Buy the news, sell the rumor. Buy the news, sell the rumor. No, that's opposite. Buy the rumor, sell the news. But yeah, everything is going pretty good right now. And I hope things are going good for you. Oh, it looks like George is getting ready to go on, so I'm gonna get out of here and maybe go watch Cryptozaurus. He hasn't been responding to me lately. I hope I'm gonna do something, George. I always asked him to collaborate, but yeah. Guys, tomorrow be here 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4:45, and we're gonna do a weekly close. If we can close above 40 tomorrow, we are going to have an extremely bullish week, in my opinion. So, all right, guys, that being said, you know what time it is. Goodbye and good Bitcoin.